Assalamualaikum. Welcome to the Department of English Government Postgraduate College Attak. I am Shahryar Khan, and we would be having uh, our lecture of BSc fourth year, the first chapter of a selection of modern prose. In my previous lecture, I have introduced you to Mark Twain and this essay in which Mark Twain has presented his own theory, which is a kind of rejection of Darwinian theory of evolution. Darwin said that man is the highest animal in the who in the stages of evolution, but Mark Twain says that if we look at the history and the record of man, we will find that he is actually the lowest animal. Today we would start with the text of the essay, The Damned Human Race. Look at the first sentence. The writer says, I have been studying the traits and dispositions of the lower animals, so called, and contrasting them with the traits and dispositions of man. Before we come to the meaning of this sentence, let us first have a look at the construction and some of the words, some of the vocabulary that is used in this sentence. The sentence starts with I have been studying. That is, if you look at the tense of this sentence, it is um, present perfect continuous. Have been studying. It is used in a situation when we are talking about an action that started in the past and it continues still. It means even in present it continues. And I have been living in this house for 10 years. The person is started to live in this house 10 years ago, and he still lives in that house. So this is what we call present perfect continuous, and you should keep this in mind that it is related with time. Time is mentioned in it, and when time is not mentioned, it is posed. For example, in this sentence, it is not mentioned that when the writer started to study, but it is actually posed. So time is connected with this tense. Traits, the word actually means qualities or characteristics. Disposition, almost the same, almost the same word. The synonymous meaning, nature or character of a person. So-called, uh, supposed or presumed. When we say that something is so called, it means that we are supposing that it is so. It is not so. Contrast mean difference or a position. When two things are completely different from each other, we say that they are contrasted. Now look at this sentence. The writer says, I have been studying the traits and dispositions of the lower animals, so called, and contrasting them with the traits and dispositions of man. The writer says that he has been studying the traits and dispositions of the lower animals. Lower animals mean the common animals, all the animals that exist on this planet, the dogs or cows or lions or whatever. And he has been studying their traits and dispositions, their qualities, the character, their nature, and the lower animals, and they are, and he has in brackets he has used the word so-called for them because they are supposed to be lower animals. To the writer, the lower animals are actually not lower animals. It is the man who is the lower animal. And therefore, he says that even means throughout history, man has considered himself superior. superior to all the other creatures in this universe, and on the basis of intelligence, on the basis of language, we consider ourselves superior. But the writer says that this has been our belief for millions of years. But actually, he says that when I started to study the traits and dispositions, the qualities or the nature of the lower animals, the common animals, and then I contrasted them or compared them. Means you can here say that contrast is also used in the sense of compare. When I compared them with the traits and dispositions of man, now what was the result? This is what he would tell us, that I studied, means I have, the writer says that I have read that man is superior, and I even believed in that. But I decided to challenge or check this particular belief, and therefore I studied the characteristics or nature of man, and I also studied the characteristics and nature of other animals, and then I compared them. In the next sentence, he says, I find the result humiliating to me. Find, verb, first form of the verb, simple first form, without s or es, which means that it is because of the subject. When we use it is simple, mean when we use simple first form of the verb, it means that it is present indefinite. And if the subject is I or we or you or they or plural, then we do not use s or es with the first form of the verb. And if the subject is he or she or it or singular, then we use s or es with first form of the verb. You are well aware of that. Now he says that I find the result humiliating to me. Now what is the result? The result is when I compared the qualities of man and the qualities of animals, the result that I got, that result was humiliating to me. Humiliating means insulting. I was insulted. I felt insulted because of that result, the result of that comparison. Now, why he felt humiliated or insulted? The reason was that he, as I said earlier, that he is a man. The writer is a man, and he, just like all human beings, he used to believe that man is superior or higher animal. But when he compared the qualities of human beings with the qualities of animals, he finds out that actually, in many ways, animals are better than human beings. So they are the higher animals. And this, therefore, this is the reason that he felt humiliated, that I considered myself superior or higher, but actually I am not. And this is the reason. And animals that are usually, we considered animals as inferior or lower, but actually those animals are better than us. This is the reason that he finds the result humiliating. um, Humiliating, here it is not used as a verb. It is when we add ing to the first form of a verb and use it as an adjective, we call it participle or present participle. Basically, it is humiliating is a present participle in this sentence. Now look at the next sentence. The writer says, for it obliges me to renounce my allegiance to the Darwinian theory of the ascent of man from the lower animals, since now it seems plain to me that the theory ought to be vacated in favor of a new and truer one, this new and truer one to be named the descent of man from the higher animals. Before we analyze uh, the meaning of this sentence, let us first look at the different expressions. Obliges, verb of the sentence, and again the use of s suggests that it is present indefinite. Obliges has many meaning, but Here it is used in the sense of forces. It obliges me, it forces me. Renounce, to stop believing in something. If somebody believes in something and after some time he or she stops believing in that, then we say that that person has renounced his or her belief in that thing. Allegiance. Allegiance, it simply means loyalty. It can also be used in the sense of faithfulness or belief. And uh, actually, this word was used in the past in relation to the kings. When somebody would say that I pledge my loyalty to the king, he simply said that he would express his, you can say, loyalty to the king. So, but here it is used in the sense of um, belief, in the sense of faithfulness. Ought means should. It is used in the sense of should. Basically, both are modal auxiliaries. Vacate, to clear space. It is its usual meaning. Here it is used in the sense of cancel. Now look at the sentence again. What does it mean? The writer says, for it obliges me. What is it here? It is the subject of the sentence. And it obliges me mean it is basically, it here refers to the previous sentence, that the comparison between the qualities of man and the qualities of animals and the results. He says that the results that he found, which were humiliating to him, those results also forces him to renounce. To renounce means to stop believing. My allegiance means my belief to the Darwinian theory of the ascent of man from the lower animals. Now he says that before making this study, before he compared the qualities of man and the qualities of animals, he was a believer in Darwinian theory of the ascent of man from the lower animals. He believed that Darwin was right when he said that man is the product of evolution. He passed through different evolutionary stages or phases, and initially there were um, animals, and first there were unicellular organisms, and then animals, and with the passage of time, uh, these creatures they developed and finally ended in man. Now he says that he believed in that theory, but when he made this comparison between the qualities of man and the qualities of animals, he had to renounce his allegiance. Renounce means stop believing. His allegiance means his belief in the theory of in the Darwinian theory. He had to stop believing in the Darwinian theory. Why? Why he had to stop believing in it? He tells us or explains the reason that since now it seems plain to me after finding those results, it appears simple to me. Seems mean appears very simple to me that the theory ought to be mean should be vacated, cancelled. Here it is used in the sense of cancelled in favor of mean in, you can say, it should be replaced with, in a new theory should take its place, and that theory is a new and a truer one. And what is that theory? Descent of man from the higher animals. Now this theory is opposite to Darwinian theory. According to this theory, which is basically formulated by the writer himself, that man is not ascended, man has not risen from the lower animals, but actually he has descended. Descended means came down from the higher animals. That is, higher animals are at the top, and man has descended from those animals. So in this way, he has actually reverted the logic of Darwinian theory of the ascent of man, or you can say that he has totally you can say totally um, reversed the order of the Darwinian theory of the ascent of man from the lower animals. So in this way, he says that his idea is that uh, I made this comparison between the qualities of man and the qualities of animals, and I found out that this theory, this Darwinian theory, that man is the higher animal and the other animals are lower, that theory is false. Actually, man is the lower animal and the other animals are higher. So that was our lecture for today, and in this we started discussing the text of The Damned Human Race by Mark Twain. You should know that Mark Twain, he was basically a humorist and a satirist, and I told you that the purpose of Steyer is always to reform. So he is basically a reformer. He wants to change the society for better, and he's therefore he has started to make such kind of claims that he wants to show mirror to human beings, that they should look in the mirror and see their faces and what they have done. And therefore he says that I made this comparison between the animals and the human beings, and the results were shocking. They were very humiliating for me, because I found out that I always considered animals as lower and myself as higher, but actually the animals are higher and I am lower. So this is the basic part uh, of the essay, and we will see that how it moves forward, and we will discuss uh, it further in our next lecture. Till then, take care.